is up? Welcome back to Turbo Tuesday. Every Tuesday like clockwork. Hopefully it continues. Thought we were going to have an issue with internet service earlier today, but thankfully that is not the case. So we are live, and it is looks like everything is working decent. So awesome. Yeah. Tonight we have the winner of the 828 Cash Days in Wilkesboro at the Wilkesboro Dragway, North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Came down from Kentucky and took home the win in small tire. He's small tire is usually the main event, most of these no prep events, and he took home the belt. He's the winner, the champion of that night, and took out some pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah, 28 car for field.
Yep.
Oh, there we go again. 28 car field, a lot of heavy hitters, and the track was sketchy.
It looked, I was not able to be there. I was watching the live feed, and it was a very challenging surface for everybody. I think a lot more incidents at this race than the majority of them we've seen, which that surface is always tricky. It is a different surface. I mean, we've seen probably one of the worst wrecks that there's been in no prep at that location. And boy, that transition from concrete to asphalt really gets people.
Dude.
I mean, it is a game changer for a lot of people. You had people rolling the moment that they hit that transition. Things just change up. That's for sure.
The two biggest factors Saturday was the transition and the outer boundary where the groove ends. Mm-hmm. But you're not really out of the lane.
Yeah, but you're out of the rubber.
Yeah.
And you've got one tire doing something that the other one's not happy with. Mm-hmm. And it most of the time,
Yep.
That's what happened with Eric. I mean,
yeah,
I watched it, and it sucks. But his tire came out of the groove, and
it just instantly kicked it.
Kicked it hard left, and that was all. The back end swung around, and there was just nothing. I mean, he had enough momentum that it just carried it. It was just rough. I mean, it was fun to watch. A lot of you could tell that it was the first event of the year.
Yeah.
A lot of new builds, a lot of leaks. It seemed like to me, from a spectator standpoint,
Diapers are about to be mandatory.
Man, there was a lot of leaks. There was a lot of spill cleanups, and that every time I would get back on the live feed, we would be cleaning up a spill. So we have with us tonight Zach Jones.
Doc Holliday.
He is the driver
Meatball.
and owner of Doc Holliday. Also, I'm going to chop his trailer in half and take half of it and use it so I can trailer my car. But no, we met up against each other in the finals of the Second Chance race at the Cash Days on the Hill back in July of 2022. And he ran out of my life in the finals. And
he took us from here to here.
Yeah, hey. I was still extremely happy. That night for me was a win. I have no problem losing to, a car that caliber. I mean, I don't.
Oh, it's nasty.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the name. But anyways.
Gen 2 small block 4.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, I did get to race some small block Fords that night. It did suck to get beat by an LS. I mean, it's definitely not great, but car's awesome. So let's bring Zach in.
Well, let me shoot this so they can see. I've got all of his wrap up from Saturday.
Yep. So if you didn't see, Spoold Media has all of the video from the event. The video was great. I got to watch it yesterday. And, super awesome event Tyler Wilhelm put on, and great job all around.
So this is all Zach's passes from Saturday on his March to Win small tire.
different cases you can find.
Like this right here was great. Randy coming out wheels up on them too. I mean, they held it. This right here, this is a good one.
Wasn't much guessing on the white.
No. Oh God, he's so close.
Is there a GoPro on Zach's car? I don't know. Probably.
Talk about it.
That was close.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we love that shit.
Heck
So-
yeah.
So, welcome to the show, buddy.
What is up? Can we hear
Hold
you?
up, it's probably me.
Yep, one
You know
second.
I suck at this. Go ahead. Now you're good. Hold up, speak up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yep. There we go.
this is every week.
Yeah.
They should be used to it by now.
Heck yeah.
Get this damn computer line up.
Yep. I think we can barely hear you a little bit. Do you have any?
You got a microphone or headphones with a microphone
Get some phones.
or AirPods?
It just depends.
We are
It's prob-
officially under a
it's-
technical delay.
Well, I'd say it's
Lucky.
probably going through the laptop, and sometimes those
Yeah.
laptops aren't. They don't have the best microphones in them, so it'll be
No.
hard to hear. We may be able to just turn him up, possibly.
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see if we can just turn you up a little bit. Go ahead and talk with us there. See if we can hear you.
Now try it.
Can you hear me?
There
Yeah, I turned you
It's a
up.
little better.
I was leaning forward. This computer's, I never used this damn thing before.
Okay. Heck yeah. Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you. I wish you were there. I was trying to race you again.
Me too, man. I really wish I was. They schedule that every year on the same weekend that we have this couples retreat every year the same weekend, and I've missed it for the last. I probably haven't been since Eric Manns had the Boston George car there. That's been a minute ago. So that's been a long time. Let's see, I can't hear him now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I don't know what that was.
it's this internet in the hills of West Virginia.
We can blame Kentucky. So, I mean, the car is running exceptionally well, man. It looked awesome.
Well, if you've known the last month and a half we've done dealing with it, you'd understand why we were happy to run it. That's really awesome. Even on Wednesday, I blew a transcooler and a starter on the same pass. I only made one pass or two passes that day, and they're both horrible. The first pass against Jarrett was the first one that I've actually been A to B without the tail on it.
Well, I saw that the YouTube video there of the problems you were having there when y'all were trying to test, and it sounds
Yeah.
like that was just more of what you've already been dealing with.
Yeah, that and the converter we're still having problems with, but we ordered one today, so Pete at Circle D is going to send me a new one. But like even at Wilkesboro, I have dump valves and we have it so tight the last 400 foot that I'm at 7,800 and it's not picking up any mile an hour on the graph or anything. Like it's the shift point. There's no shift point on the car on the graph.
Yeah.
It's just a straight.
I noticed that in the test pass. It seemed like the car never shifted, like it only had one gear. I definitely heard that.
Yeah, we got lucky. I will say that. Our luck was a little bit there, but I drive the piss out of it for sure. But
Yeah, you drew a tough draw for first round.
Yeah, it can get
yeah,
tough
and
from that.
it stumbled hard. Jared told me, he said, if you sit on the brake for a minute, you're going to be up there for a while because they take forever to drop the green. And I didn't think about listening about it. So I get up there and I already build whatever I was making to leave before I even bumped in, and I'm sitting up there and it's shooting flames over the fender. I can see them during the day. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit! You know, I let go and it stumbled, and then it caught, and then it tried to power wheel it a little bit, and I guess he got loose a little bit, so I grabbed the scramble, and then I was like, I got around him.
You know, I watched his video of it, and I didn't catch the stumble the first time I watched it till he just showed the video, and it did.
Oh,
It
he
stumbled
crossed
hard.
at least at like 300 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, as someone standing on the line, take the methanol and turn it down 2 notches.
Don't work that way.
I guess it's a 16 injector probably.
Yeah. I mean, that was a for a first race, you know, on that surface, that was definitely a crazy. Were they first pair? What pair were you?
No, second or third.
Second or third. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And that's you know, Willie and you know Jarrett. That's well, you were doing a great job driving it for sure, and the car was on. I know you were fighting some stuff with things jiving together, but the car was really on rails. You didn't have the problems of things moving around. It seemed like to me that a lot of the other cars were having. A lot of the cars against you were moving around. I know you moved around a little bit against the Scarlet Performance car.
I think that was honestly race of the night.
The trains actually, I don't forget the guy's name. You might know him for with the Camaro.
Cox.
Yeah.
The Camaro and the Firebird. We were having problems with the sensor on, I forget what sensor it is, but that and one of the trans line kept blowing off. So about every pass we were having to jack it up and fix it, and every pass was right at the finish line. I guess I was singing the hell out of it, and it was horrible. It got so bad against whenever I raced the Firebird that I didn't even have enough time to pull the chute. I just held on the steering wheel and tried to drive through it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess that's happening because it's burning through the converter so crazy and creating the temperatures.
Shortly, it's been just all the pressure. I don't have a converter charge pressure sensor, which I need to get one, but it was definitely singed. I mean, you could see on the graph that the last probably 150, 200 foot, I didn't pick up any mile an hour at all. So pretty much from 400 foot on, I was the same mile an hour from where I was, you know.
I got you. The converter just slipping like crazy.
Yeah, it's the converter for the stock bottom end motor I had in it when I raced you. I haven't changed. They wanted us to get passes on it, so I was technically just trying to use this race to get passes on it so I can get data to send to Paul, which just commented. He built the car, and then Pete at Circle D. We were just trying to get enough data to get to him.
I got you. That's awesome. I mean, it did great. I mean, that for you to be technically struggling, you know, and I know it sucks to not have confidence in a car that you're racing. I mean, you ended up going through a field of 28 and ended up winning. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the whole drive line's brand new on it too, so it's nothing. And none of it's the same for whenever I raced you, or even from the end of November probably. I think was when we changed everything over. So I had a new charger, new motor, new turbo, everything's
Right.
brand new on it.
Because y'all took the car down to? Did y'all take it to the pad?
Yeah, they took it to the pad.
Yeah, and it just I put the transmission in it. And it turns out it had a restrictor in the valve body, and it was allowing the converter to get enough fluid, and it blew through the converter again there. I think I went 30 mile an hour at 18.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. I remember y'all sort of doing what I did the first time that I got the Reed case glide in mine. We struggled with that. It ended up being a valve body issue as well, and I didn't have any high gear. That's when I raced Kevin Hedges with one gear. And that sucks to struggle because you don't know exactly what's wrong with the transmission because you don't know if is it slipping, is it like with me I kept changing the shift linkage trying to make sure the shift linkage was correct because it seemed like it wasn't engaging the gear. It's just
that's what I thought. I thought it didn't shift the high. That's the exact same thing that happened to me.
Yep, that and then I talked with Turbo John, and he's like, you got to watch because sometimes it's something to do with the input shaft and the O-ring, and it'll let too much fluid go around it. Ended up that I think we changed the valve body, and it was just something wrong in that valve body or something clogged up or something. It was not letting the fluid bypass.
we took it to RPM Transmissions up in Indy, and they went through it. I didn't know if I burned a clutch up or what. It was, it was fresh. So I didn't know if something maybe I just got in it, but luckily it was just something simple, and they had it fixed in an hour.
That's awesome.
But
That's awesome. I mean,
it was like that. We actually made a test pass with it 2 days before, and it did fine. But of course, when it matters most, it messed up.
yeah, it's usually how that works. Things don't. Well, see, like I put mine on a dyno, and the dyno never showed anything. It didn't have enough load, I don't guess, to show us what an issue was until we went and put load, do an actual pass. So
they did the same thing. I guess that was the problem. So we took it out, and I haven't had any problems since.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, getting a win like that, man, that's a tough thing to do. And because, I mean, you didn't have any slouches. I mean, the list of cars that some people win races and they have nothing, and this isn't against anybody, but a lot of them have easy draws. They have buys. They have, other guys broke against them or whatever the case may be. They have lower caliber cars. And for the first race of the year, I mean, you raced some of the toughest small tire cars that are especially down in the east now. I mean that's definitely a good one to hang your hat on.
Now, I think all those guys are all local guys too, for the most part. At least been there before. Like I said, I'm sure Derek has several passes there. I have 5 there total now.
Yeah, I think Randy would have probably been the one that has the most passes there.
I was worried.
No.
Silver. Well, toss up between Randy and the Silver Camaro. That's Brandon Rash.
Okay, Brandon Rash.
Usually runs the street class stuff. He double entered.
There's so many silver F bodies. I was confused to who was who because was the Kevin or however you.
Kevin or
Kevin.
Yeah, he was there.
Okay, I wasn't.
He's putting on a show driving that thing up there.
Okay, so I wasn't sure who that was, but yeah, I would say the Brandon guys probably got more passes, but not a whole lot. I know Becker with the 240 is from down South Carolina. That car is always moving, and
I think he raced. Alan was the one that raced.
Yeah, he had Alan second round.
I think so.
Is that he raced at your race?
Who's that? No, this past weekend, Becker and Alan ran second round, and I think Alan had the 1,000 horsepower nitrous tune-up off the line on it. Because that thing was like, no.
Yeah, that was tough. Now, did Becker, because Becker ran at your cash days whenever Alan won, I wasn't sure if they ran before.
I don't think they ran. I don't think so.
Right. I know the question that I had while we were watching that is, did you guys have a GoPro on the car whenever you ran the Hustlin' Horsepower?
Yeah, I actually have the GoPro off of his truck pointed at my car.
Because I didn't realize how close, whenever I watched it until this watching it today, how close he was to you, it seemed like.
Yeah, I actually blew the tires off on the line, and then it dead hooked and tried to power wheel it. I have to send it to Corey in a second. But it actually blew the tires off, and then it immediately hooked, and I grabbed the scramble when it started to power wheel it, and it just took off immediately. Like I've never had that happen in my life. That car never blows the tires off ever. Like it's never not went, and that was the first time. And then actually, like it on the videos from behind, it almost looks like a bunny hops 10 foot, and then it dead hooks and impacts the front left tire probably underfoot, probably a foot off the ground.
That's crazy. It's trying to work.
This front side stuff's different. I mean,
yeah,
you're gonna see some new stuff that your car's never done.
Yeah, besides 80 and more in the woods, this is the only front side racing I've ever done. Really, I've always liked dirt road, airports, back of the track, water burnout stuff, just old shitty services. I don't really do much front stuff at all.
And then he wins.
Yeah, it comes right out and boom, right out the park.
Well, he's won. What you said? You've only been to KD, War in the Woods, and this one, and that's 2 out of. Well, I know you won second chance, but that's two. It's 2 out of 3.
A lot. I was last year. I was conservative on the tune-ups first round. I won a lot of second chance races.
Right.
I never not won one. I think I won 9 last year.
Dang, that's crazy.
He's on that Chris Cook streak.
He said that's not second chance races.
A win's a win.
Hey, absolutely. That means you took some money home. That's a different feeling for sure.
Yeah, at one point I won 7 races in a row. I think 6. I was trying. I'm still learning how to do it, but our buddy Maynard that has the Death Row car, he usually helps me tune. I mean, he's really good at tuning it. And most of the races, I'm getting to the point now where I'd rather just go up there and blow the damn tires off than be too conservative and get outrun. So last year, no problem. I was just too conservative on first time tune-ups, or I would hit the scramble button before I passed Limpy or whoever was flagging, and then I'd shoot everywhere. So I had that problem last year for sure, but now I'm just at the point where I'd rather go up there and leave on 20 pounds and blow the damn tires off than try to leave on 3 and hold on and make sure I have enough,
Oh no, I absolutely get that. You would rather almost beat yourself rather than have somebody outrun you. Like you can just say, "Hey, I missed it on this one, but it was not, that I didn't have enough car in it. It was just the surface wouldn't take it." I get that for sure.
It sucks.
Go ahead. I couldn't hear you for a second. It cut out.
It sucks to flat out outrun by just not having enough power for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely a struggle with a lot of the surfaces because a lot of times A to B does win races, but now with the caliber of cars that are there, A to B, you may both go A to B and he go faster. So I mean, all the cars were riding like the ragged edge this past weekend. You could definitely see it. Like there was that same song and dance of, do you have too much wheel speed? Are you out of the groove? Are you moving too much? Or whatever the case may be. And it seemed like to me your car had the perfect amount of ragged edge on it. I mean,
it was on that fine line where, like the pass against Randy, you had that little bit of shift, but for majority, man, that car wasn't really that out of control. I was like, wow.
No, you can definitely tell.
It almost drives itself every pass. It's wild. It's. I try to tell Alan that they'll show me passes and I'll be coming out of the groove sideways and in the car it feels like I'm going straight as an arrow. It's hard to describe, but it goes. I mean, it never goes A to B pretty much.
Right. I mean, it does an excellent job. I mean, the car, y'all definitely have the car set up well. You can definitely tell when people haven't set their cars up well. They're all over the place. They're, one tire's grabbing. You can tell they haven't, whatever it may be. Bars not right, scale not right, weight's crazy. It's just not proportional. They don't have the load right. You can definitely tell whenever a car's set. And it seems like that car is really that you've. I know you say it's not I say my car's not a front side car either, but I know you say it's not a front side car, but it seems like it's going to have enough juice to get it done this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's got plenty of power. It's just making everything else work. I've had that car. I never started racing until April of last year, so I pretty much just bought the car and jumped in it. Basically, it used to be called Magic Johnson. He's from New York, but I always went to Digger Die. I think we went several rounds to Digger Die. Mm-hmm. Kind of something I always other than adding progression or stiffness in the shocks. I've never touched suspension wise in the car. Never touched the bar anglers. I've added a little weight here and there, but it never really. As far as just engine and stuff, like last year I had over 200 passes on that combo that he sold it to me with, and the worst thing I ever had to change was the turbo, other than like preventive maintenance of oil and transmission fluid and stuff like that. But I changed the turbo probably 5 months into the season last year, and I think I got like 240 passes out of that motor before it dropped the ring into the cylinder head or into the cylinder and scratched the wall up pretty good. But I mean, I still have the motor, so if this motor starts giving me fit skin, I'll just throw all that stuff back in. I know it'll work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing did work for you. So what? I know we can get into a little bit of backstory. You said that, I know you bought the car, and it was called Magic Johnson before. I know we had seen it at Dig or Die before, and I mean, just to be blunt, hadn't really done anything until I mean, let me
it
say
went
this,
some
at
rounds.
dig or die.
It was running good down there, but
It ran good. It ran good, but obviously you took it to 6 or 7 wins. I know you said second chance or whatever the case may be. Now we're talking about you winning a pretty decent
Yeah.
pot at a big race with 28 fast
Yeah.
cars. So I mean, you've definitely taken the car and improved it. A lot of people will take a fast car, and the best way to make a fast car slow is to get a new owner. Opposite with it, you took it and put it in the winner's circle instead.
Yeah, that car was still fairly new. Just didn't. Every time I'd throw nitrous to it, it'd try to build a car through the front windshield. So I was like, I'm selling this. And then he posted it, and he didn't really want to sell it. But then I offered him enough money, and then we on an airplane, turned out and broke the throttle cable.
You never realize that you need after a win. And there's not much, and people who've done it understand. But there's when you win in a high stress situation like that, it's
The very next race, but it kind of, I don't know if the boat slid back in or what.
yeah.
But luckily, we caught that before I was down track. We actually just zip tied the brake up onto the A arm and made the pass, and I still won somehow.
Whew.
hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, yeah, I pulled the chute half track and just stayed in it. And then Doss actually packed it. It was the very first time he ever packed one by himself. And I was
With 3 brake calipers on, technically.
so there back to the trailer before it stopped.
Oh my God.
Man,
That's
there ain't much
crazy.
room to play up there either.
No.
No. Yeah, they get on me because I get a little wild sometimes.
I noticed. I found.
Always
When are
gets
we
on
gonna
me.
see Doc Holliday and Butterface lined up?
It's actually funny. We were talking about this. So second round before I draw, there's that Mike Dandy guy. Got to race as much as, but he's fast.
That's it. Definitely helps when you have somebody who's pushing you to go faster. Who that if I know one thing is like, and we talked to Alan, and I know that all y'all guys have got a pretty awesome friendship and rivalry and different things going on there. And I know, like, if I went and raced and I didn't have any friends, or didn't have any friends at the racetrack, I would.
2 of them scrubbing tires, the other one fanning the door, one backing me up, one guy in the back. No, we just work together really good, I guess. I don't know. I knew none of these boys until the beginning of last year, and then that was just because Happy, my dad and Happy have been friends forever, and then Jeremy and all them, and then Jeremy and my dad have been friends forever, but we were out racing for a long time. And I was like, hey, I got a car, and they're like, come test, and then ever since we've been running together, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that's just good people. Usually, whenever a lot of people like to be standoffish whenever it comes to this type of game. A lot of people don't like to share info. It just depends on who you get, and so that's pretty awesome to sort of be brought into that fold a little bit and just say, come on, join, go race.
But to go, if someone else is going to go with us, there's always the truckload full of people everywhere we go. But to go, if someone else is going to go with us, there's always the truckload full of people everywhere we go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that's always the way it is here. It makes it a whole lot more enjoyable. I mean, the funny thing is, we rolled up to that KD race. That's probably one of the only races that I've ever had that I had no crew with me that came in the truck. Everybody that was there that helped me that night was Chris Lane, some of the guys from Ohio, Luke and Jordan, and you. That was pretty much it.
Next to me or a trailer over or something like that.
Do what now?
I think you were parked like right next to me or a trailer over, pretty close.
Yeah, we had a couple of trailers in between us.
Yeah, I don't have that big trailer you're talking about anymore.
Oh, really?
So it was just too big. It was a lot to handle. We got a little bit smaller.
I was going to say that was probably an ordeal to get in and out of different places, for sure.
For sure. It would fit in our garage, but it was just, so, it was like, you're having a semi-trailer.
Like a 632 big block, changed the transmission out, and had no cage in the car.
He's a Katie every time I ever went. He's a for sale sticker on the car ever since I've ever seen it, and every time I ask him, it's not for sale. So I don't know.
That's awesome. So, what are some? I know you've got a new powertrain in there. You've got the car painted. You've really done a lot. I've not been good this winter at getting my car ready. It's been terrible. But you've done pretty good this winter having everything ready. What's your plans for 2023? What races are we going to see you at? And just plans for 20.
And that,
This guy over.
Meanwhile,
yeah, Shady's really rowdy. I like it.
It is. It is definitely different. I mean, if you're used to street stuff, I know you said that you like but I will say front side is good. Their cars I would say have been 550s there, which is a little crazy. They got a little loop section there on top, but it is a.
Passes there for sure. Freddie and then Michael McCoy made some fast passes there too.
Yeah.
All those runs too.
Oh, what's the white Fox body Trojan horse car?
Michael Hicks.
Michael Hicks took a car down that surface. Michael Hicks took a car down that surface. Whew. Very, very fast.
Also seen the video of Block running out of room at the end and cut over.
And you're good.
At the bond of the house on the other end or whatever that building is.
Yeah, the building is definitely where you want to head towards. I don't think you'll be able to make it down that far, but years now at some.
And everything to make it put a radio back on it and all the bar angles and ride for a radio.
Nice. That's that radio stuff. It just depends. There's not as many. But the thing that sucks about the Twin Branch place is I haven't really seen that they've brought anybody in to do any type of no prep or pour your own puddle or any type of race. That's the only thing that sucks.
Yeah. I was talking to Happy. He said
racing is just fun.
I love it, especially the people that talk the most shit is the people that don't travel. They're like that. Never.
Funny though, those type of guys, you rarely ever see them go out of. They'll do it once, and then you'll never see it happen again.
Yeah, they'll get six, 7 cars put on. Yeah, we're gonna go back to try and do index racing at the Valley again.
Man, I hear all these ones at winter. I know I've had some friends who are like, "Do you know so and so? They said that they are going to come and wreck nope race." I don't even know what you want to call some of the ones that I've talked to. Think that they are just going to come and blow through the competition and no prep.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's half the people that race around us. Like we have those. I think Corey made all the flowers.
Nowadays, if you're not going teens on the front side,
I agree.
That's pretty common.
Another thing I'm getting used to with my car. I used to have a 180 gear trans in it, so I could. And the car didn't make me torque with those engines, so I could tell my owner, I'm like, just put as much power in it as you want to line. It's going to dead hook, and it would. Like at Warner Woods, I could leave on 15 pounds, and it would dead hook and wad up the tire. Like it loved it. But with it, I've changed it to. It was whenever I put the new engine stuff in it, I changed it to I forget what it was. A lot lower gear.
You feel like you've taken all the gear out of it. I think mine's a 373 gear. So because what you did is you killed the starting line ratio of the car because you're not really worried about that type of racing on the front side. Really, you're trying to tame it to where you have easier power management when it comes to the backside stuff or those really crappy surfaces.
Yeah, we turned it up on. I had the buy run third pass or I had the buy run third round, and we turned it up just to see what it would take on the leave, and it was a little bit. It's still violent. Like I don't leave on as much as I used to, and it still kind of chirp the tires. But I try to use that in my last round and turn it down a few pounds, and it still didn't like it. Which also, it was odd. Like I'll have to send video. Maybe he can post it in a second. But it literally, you can see on the video from behind. It looks like it jumped 10 foot. Like it jumped from the start, and then it just packs the front tire and carries it. It was a weird feeling in the car, and even take off easy on backflip track. I never really that used to the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had her like at the end. It likes to rattle the stick of the wall. I think that might still moving around at the end also.
Yeah, the Mickey is definitely a stiffer compound for sure. I know like the CO7, like you said, likes to wad up pretty good if there's any type of tack or rubber already down. I mean, I have shook my teeth out on Hoosiers, which I don't think that's rough. It can those Hoosiers
A very poor surface.
Shady Side.
Yeah, very.
Because Shady Side is
It's gonna be fast.
technically a week and a half. It'll be a week from this Friday and Saturday. So how will the track be? So how will the track be?
Crappy rubber's better than scraping at the bear there. And let's see. You know, we'll have test and tune the night before, and there's so many street cars and street trucks that go down it. Dude, it tears it up. So radio night, and I'm not gonna say who told me to say this, but they said, ask him about his poison ivy nuts.
Telling poison ivy. I don't know how, because it's not like I was running around butt naked in the bushes or nothing, but I somehow have it everywhere. I've been allergic to anything in my life. That's why I don't understand how I got it. Like I used to go around and running and pull those through the woods, bouncing off trees and shit.
No, it's everywhere.
And I woke up, looked like I was sitting out in the sun for 3 days straight with blisters all over me.
Dude, that's rough. I've been there. Oh, I hate it.
I'm still trying to recover my lung from the weekend. Man, that pollen was hitting strong Saturday.
Oh yeah, especially Wednesday, it was really bad because I finally had got like this cream stuff or whatever. I don't know, some shit my mom got me. So I like limped it back.
To put our money on Dog Collar, right?
Blonde hair, yeah.
Timmy.
Split up in September. Didn't get everything ready to go till November.
The same people win all the time.
7 hours of worrying if I was gonna do worth the shit. That was for sure. When we first. I was like, I don't know, at least I'm guaranteed drown, and then if I
And once you get those issues, you know that mile an hour up top is gonna be insane.
Yeah, I was talking to a few people, and I'll send the videos here in a second to Corey, but like the one against Bradshaw at the end, I didn't realize how fast. Like I had it pretty mellow on the big end. I didn't really have I only had like 3 pounds in the button, I think. And I was only going to like 20 pounds, but it was rolling. Like it mile an hour, almost a personal best.
That's awesome. I mean, get those little issues, and I mean that car. I mean, a car is strolling. It's sort of like, it's hard to say. Get those issues fixed, and that car will. You know, it's
a good converter.
Opinion on Shady Side is probably going to be.
But if I had to take a guess, I'd say some of them guys at the end of the night, they're bottom fives. I mean, they're rolling
there.
Yeah. He won I guess last in the spring or whatever. I didn't get to make that one.
Right.
But he said he was fast. He said he went. You know, I might bring a surprise. I don't know. Let's see.
There you go. Heck yeah.
Hey, and if that doesn't work out, you can always win some money at the Hampton Inn and Casino.
Ready for that?
God, that poor lady at that front desk does not even. I don't know where that's coming from.
I don't know. We have a little bit of interference. It sounds like.
There you go.
Oh God.
Well, heck yeah, man. So here, before we end this thing,
it would take me a lot longer to figure it out. But that car, I pretty much jumped in it and was winning races with it. So 5. There's a bunch of people. It's hard to thank everybody.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, it takes a village, and that's things here for a little bit. I really appreciate you coming on. Super congratulations on the win. That's an awesome way to start the year out. I know this is really the first race that you did in the 2023 besides the NOLA race. So congratulations on it, and I really look forward to seeing the car for the rest of the year.
Next time I'll get this camera stuff figured out, I won't be 4 inches from the damn camera trying to talk to you.
That's all good. Next time,
that's all good, man. We're always learning too.
Oh yeah. Next time, probably just earphones.
Yeah,
earphones with the speaker,
like
AirPods or something like that. They do really well.
Sounds good.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on.
See you next weekend.
And it seems like it's going in and out.
Oh, it's been going in and out all night.
But
I apologize, guys.
Well, I think I fixed something with it. I think somebody in my house was on the internet pretty hardcore. I think we have 2 TVs going on upstairs.
Oh, gosh.
So I got that. It circulates between The Godfather, Tombstone, and Gladiator.
It's one of these phones. I don't know.
It's probably a phone.
We suck tonight.
I don't know. They may not be able to hear it. But it...
I don't know. It might be me.
I don't know, but either way, I love the name of the car. Doc Holliday is a gangster name. I mean, that is just a great movie character, a great person in real life. Like, that's a gangster. But anyways, if you want to see Zach at the Doc Holliday car, go check out Meatball Racing, Team Meatball. I got their merch on, and give them a follow on YouTube, Facebook. I know Alan Thompson on TikTok will probably have Doc Holliday. I'm sure Zach's probably got one as well. And you can check those all those cars out from Team Meatball. And Zach's got a gangster. He obviously proved that this weekend, battling some things, and ended up going and getting a win on, really the first, in my opinion, big stage of no prep for 2023.
Yeah.
And set himself apart. I mean, there's a reason he got invited to Gangster's Paradise, which is coming up in June, I think. And there's a reason that the Doc Holliday car is invited. I mean, that car went and, he had some luck on his side, but that's usually better to be. I will say, the pass against the Willie Dynamite car, and Jarrett,
man,
that was a crazy race. And if you've never raced then you probably don't understand the difference. Like that, those two cars.
Cash days.
Yes, Carolina Cash Days, the warm up, right?
$5,000, man.
$5,000 to win plus the side bet. I was just talking about somebody today about the side bet situation. I mean, there's
I mean,
a bunch of money to win there. And, I mean, it's a good...
On Friday night, we do have testing. It's $20 for a testing tech card. Take advantage of that. Get me burger.
That's
good
Carolina
on style.
All down. I will give you a hug.
I'll give you $1.
I'll we'll high five. And you can pick how big of a sticker you want to put on the front windshield. I don't care.
Oh, really? So I can block out almost that whole windshield
I
if I
don't care.
want.
It don't matter. It don't matter. I'll get one on there.
Dig or Die Flashlight Fiesta 3.
Yep.
Big races. I'm still good to go this weekend. I got the coverage coming up.
Was it the blue Camaro?
No, it wasn't the House guys.
I'm just throwing.
They were in the finals, but it wasn't them. I
haven't talked with Tyler, but watching it on the live feed. Corey, I know some people were complaining about issues with the live feed. If you've ever been there, understand that live feed is insane for the quality of service that is there.
If you have any complaints about live feed, just send me your email address, and I'll refund you your money. Nothing back.
Well, I had to go. I was talking to Derek. So Derek was there. God, that's rough.
Cord.
The cord for the actual mics?
Yeah.
That might be.
I got cords if I ain't got nothing.
Anyway.
Take them 1 second of downtime. Just hold on. Oh.
Now.
Because you're peeled.
That's it. I mean, that place is always upgrading, and they're there for the racer and for the spectator. They're there to give the guys that are in, is it considered Central Kentucky or is it considered Eastern Kentucky? It feels like
Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I know it feels way out there to me, but I mean they're giving that area just an awesome area to race. And have they resurfaced? Did they do the resurface?
Yeah, I mean. No, I actually don't think they did that much yet.
Yeah.
I think I figured a problem at least.
Which, jumping back into something, the guys at Rockingham and Dig or Die, we all know we talked about how big that race is going to be. The new owners are definitely putting in a ton of off-season work to bring that place back.
Yes.
I mean, that place is going to be, insane. I mean, it is awesome.
Found our issue, at least.
It
was my mic.
Your mic?
Yes, I'm just on the regular mic, just clipped on now.
Yep, that's what it was for sure. I can tell.
Nope.
Watch
there,
it.
there it is.
I bet you it's mine too.
Well, Amazon, you have failed me again.
Watch this. Let's see if this works.
I hope, because this is kicking my rear.
It's all right.
We're supposed to be talking racing,
Yep.
and we're talking technical difficulties.
It's all good. Maybe somebody can get some good information from this deal. It sounds to me like it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
probably that.
That's
Our luck.
definitely what it is. But
Mental note for next weekend.
but back to, I'm just giving Rockingham their dues, man.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen they repaved around the starting line. They did a complete new
Dude,
surface.
that place looks so good.
I mean, it's been the same concrete and the same pavement since I went there back in what, 2009,
Since you drove my
2010?
SRT there.
Yes. I mean, that's, God almighty, that's been a minute ago. And I mean, that is just awesome to see. They redid the bathrooms, and you know, when you take your family to a place, you want to be able to take them to bathrooms where your wife is not like, man, I just don't really want to go there with you just because of how nasty it is. Stuff like that, you know, stuff that track owners really need to take into consideration. And they did. Completely remodeled bathrooms. The surface and everything is going to be insane. I bet you're going to see some good front side coming from that.
Yeah. Well, they've got a front side there this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. It's the only thing I disagree about that front side they're having is every class is so minimum to death.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost to the point you can't get the car count. Like, I think every class is minimum 32 cars.
Yeah, you got to be careful about that. I mean, that's a lot of cars.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm just going to go out on a promoter limb for y'all and say this. It doesn't have to be the biggest paying race all the time. It doesn't have to be the biggest car count all the time.
No.
Pay what you can afford and support these guys, and it will build over time. You don't have to come out and be the best race right off the bat.
There's that fine line, and I know you're probably going to talk about it on the more promoting based on what is it called? I know I have just as much fun at a race that has 16 to 24 cars.
Yeah.
Man, when you have to race 13 rounds to get into the money, it's just crazy. When you have that many cars and that much of a cluster whenever it comes to getting to the line and different things like that, it ends up being, and you know, you have a 2-day, not every race has, the gas shortage crap. That was so stupid.
Yeah.
But the problem that you may be racing for 50 grand, but 4 passes at I know it becomes an absolute ordeal, in my opinion. It's just a lot to get done, and I don't think a lot of places can
and just for
do
the fact
it.
I hate buy runs.
Yeah.
So 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2.
Yes, exactly. I don't know.
And it's not me hating. Don't think it's hating, guys.
No, not at
You
all.
big race guys.
Yep.
And have a good time.
It just takes a little bit of legwork, and I know a lot of places don't want to. You know, it's a crazy market. You know,
It's fundamentals.
The economy's not great. It's a little difficult when you've got, which I mean, hey, Motion Raceworks. Let's just say, Motion Raceworks puts their money where their mouth is. You know, I'm sure there are people who hate on people, and I don't agree with absolutely everything that they have done as a company, but when it comes to the racer and when it comes to good products, I still think that they put their money where their mouth is. They're giving back on the majority of drag and drive events, and they're giving. They literally reached out to a no prep promoter saying we want to promote it. So
I appreciate all their help.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you guys,
it's tough.
honestly, just between us, if I was still racing and there was no money on top, I wouldn't be going to that race. That's just how I am. And that's not me hating on anybody, but it's just I feel, hey, if you're going to have this, these are you guys that are paying your bills. You're telling them to come in and not race for nothing on top. You need to get that. And I'm not saying do a killer amount on top. Not every race has got to be a stupid amount. But every race, a couple grand, I mean, you're going to make it back.
All right. So here's my whole thing when it comes to racetracks, in my opinion. the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, which is the...
You and Charlotte don't get along. I don't know why you're using that as an example.
Shut up. It's the Hornet Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Spectrum Center?
Yeah.
When they bring somebody in, and how can I put this? I know they're a little different because they rent that center out. Yeah. Okay. And those performers come in, they get a cut of what's going on. Like whoever, let's say John Mayer's there.
You're educating me because I'm not a music person.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying? Like you're a stand-up comedian. You go to a live, a gig. Yeah. You get a cut of what's going on because of what? You are the entertainment. Mm-hmm. The person that has the venue has their cut, but it's so weird because drag racing is one of the only places where you're going to go pay to be there. But you're the entertainment for all the spectators there, and you get nothing out of it. That's my whole thing. Like, what if a stand-up comedian went to like the comedy club and he paid money to get up on stage?
Yeah, 100% payback's bullshit, guys. With nothing on top. I'm just gonna say it.
That's just crazy. I mean, I understand if you are like a promoter that you. I don't know what you shade tree promoter or whatever you want to call it, and you don't have
promoter,
any. You're not going to.
We got all kinds of names for them.
Whatever. Some middle of the mall crap.
Yeah, I got you on that now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy to me, and this is coming from I don't believe I deserve anything at all, but when a lot of these guys have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in these cars. And they go out and beat on them, and they're the entertainment. I just feel like they need to be given a little back, especially if they win. I don't think that's crazy.
It's not shot at anybody. Just tell them the truth. I mean, if you look at a flyer and you see, we'll say it like this: 500,000 to win, 1,000 car minimum, $500 entry. Really?
Yeah.
Or, hey guys, we're gonna have this. Come on in, and then. I'm gonna put it this way: drivers and people ain't dumb. They know you're making gate money.
No, I mean, it's not unknown. It's not. It's. I do think it's the giant elephant that nobody wants to talk about in a lot of cases. Well, I don't think a lot of racers do. A lot of racers don't want to kick up a fuss whenever it comes down to those final rounds. They get money flashed at them and then they go home.
And don't take this wrong, racers, because I'm a promoter. Kick up a fuss about it. Call us out on it. I mean. Go for it. Don't sit there and settle for less. I mean, just how I feel. I wouldn't.
I mean, and this is nothing. A lot of these tracks are doing an amazing job. Do not get me wrong. But a lot of them have a lot less overhead than they used to. No Prep and street racing have brought a different type of racing to these tracks that they didn't have before. And they can say what the majority of these tracks have had their record attendance and their record, and a lot of them are having their record numbers because of street racers who've brought a street style type event where it's the shootout style, and they're bringing it to the track to the spectators there so that everything's legal and that everybody can get a piece. That's really what it came down to.
Oh, and second tip: don't steal my pictures for your flyers.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is that I just think that the tracks and the promoters need to take a look at things
you guys
when it comes to that. I haven't been able to race at a race since November. Okay, and I am one who gives. I like to support especially local people and local racers and local promoters or whatever the case may be, but. I just feel like, a little bit of give back from a lot of these places that you are making money for.
Yeah.
Just a little. It doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Take my race, and this isn't me tooting my own horn or nothing, guys. But you look at that payout, that's $7,000 total, which we have sponsorship help. But I can tell you where $5,000 of that's coming from.
Right.
And that's for me in the track.
Right.
So, hey, more power to you guys if you want to promote like that, but don't bitch online when nobody shows up for your races.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's a reason that y'all are able to do that. It's because you guys have consistently given a good place
Think
for
about
racers.
it like this. 8 years ago, when I put on my first one,
Oh yeah,
and I had that
everybody
money
laughed.
up, there was no guarantee because everybody hated no prep then.
Oh yeah, it was. It was
Everybody
really
told me
looked
how
down upon.
stupid I was. Every chance they got.
Oh yeah,
But we still put the money up. We still had a race, and we still did everything we said we were going to do.
and it's one of the biggest no preps in North Carolina, in the heart of radial country,
Yeah.
which is
I
funny to
literally
me.
strayed away from what, I mean, everything I did up to that point was radio.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm still love radio racing.
You were
I was
still
a
doing
diehard
radial
guy.
racing when it was going on.
Yeah.
You were still having
mean-
radial races.
I
You
mean,
know
I'm
what I'm
going
saying?
to a radio race this weekend.
Oh yeah,
I'm partly over it. And next week, going back to the same place and we're no prepping.
it all comes in waves. Radials will come back around too, by the way.
Oh, it's all in the vicious cycle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going to end up coming all the way around.
The biggest thing is I want to see radials on that. And if y'all can't see what I'm pointing at, it's Houston's car on the back side of Rockingham.
We'll see.
No, I'm not saying you need to get on radios. I'm just saying I think that's the next evolution is a strictly radio only class for that.
Oh God, I don't
Yeah.
know about that. That'd be
mean-
crazy.
It's the cycle. I
I
mean,
don't know. That'll be wild.
I'm honestly thinking about adding in August, like on Friday night, my stuff, a drag radio class. Not a bi-supply, no nothing like that. It has to be strictly on a drag radio. Just a small shootout to see what would happen.
I think they start with 26s and then move to radials.
See, that was something that like hit me this weekend because they had the 26 classes this weekend, which Barrett Shook won. But there's 2 cars in the class. It was Barrett Shook and an all-wheel drive Jeep.
It's going to be hard to get. It's going to be hard to
These guys
get.
are not going to get on 26s as quick as y'all think.
Oh, I agree. I think it's going to be hard for people. You're going to have a big.
How much shit
reason.
do you have to change on that Zephyr to get on a 26?
A tire.
I mean, gearing wise, everything like that. You're gonna have changes you're gonna have to make.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Are you literally gonna drop tomorrow to make a change to a 26?
Oh no, I agree. The difference from I guess going from a 20 or like a floppy tire to a radial wouldn't be
Yeah.
as big of a difference for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not me hating on guys that try to do 26s. It's
I
just,
don't make any power, bro. I probably ain't got to change nothing.
but just, it's like I'm telling guys, I'm like, don't expect these stuff to come overnight like
Yeah,
that. These guys are not going to change like that. Happy's class has a 26s, but I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of guys in Kentucky on 26s.
Oh, that was like the 26 Capital for the longest time, wasn't it?
Like, radio racing wise,
Like
this
the
weekend-
X235 stuff.
yeah, this weekend we've got Limited Street. And it's a mix of DXP Street cars and Limited 235 cars. Those guys will straight up tell you how much they have to change just to go over if they want to run Ultra Street or something like that.
Yeah.
Just the gearing with the tire size. It's not just a tire change. So, you know, I hated seeing the small car count because they had good money on top of 26s this weekend. But guys, I'm also going to tell you, it's going to be hard to get these guys to change
Yeah.
over because, especially in Carolinas, Virginia, every
Well,
car
how-
falling out of the trees is on 28.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, how many other 28 races will there be for them to say I'm just not gonna switch?
Yeah, it's not really that justifiable, to be honest with you.
That's true.
I hope to see it
That's
take
true.
off because it's cool. I like
Yeah.
the super small tires. I'll be first to tell you, I geek out over Limited 235. But
Yeah.
in the no prep world, I think it's going to take a while before that really catches on.
Front side.
I think both sides.
Yeah, I mean, do you think? I think front side will catch on quicker than maybe
Oh,
back side.
oh yeah. I know everybody keeps thinking, and I've had a lot of people ask me about this and how I feel, but I think in the next year, like over this year, going into next year, you're going to see a dominance and a big resurgence of just front side stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just logistics things. How many people have the shutdown to run? How many people have a Rockingham shutdown? There's just not many. You know, it's just, and I've said this before. Now I know that there's going to be a big one at Union, and but it's going to be few and far between for sure. And like you said, you know, people are not going to be dropping from 28s anytime soon. It's going to be tough. I've locked in for that the Union race. That's going to be a tough one. because
You locked in for free?
Huh? Yeah.
Never mind.
Yes.
You'd have to be there to understand it.
I locked in with my picture.
Yeah, I had somebody ask me this weekend about lock-ins for my race, and I said, no, I don't have lock-ins.
No.
And they're like, why?
No, lock-ins are a thing of the past, and I mean, any racer, me personally, I'm not locking into your race.
No, I mean,
If I want to go there, I'll bring my money that day. Unless
I'm over lock-ins, and like no matter what, I know why people do it. It's advertisement.
Yeah.
I'm a promoter, guys. I know.
I'm not doing it, dude. I've lost too much money.
Well, that and the only thing I have against free lock-ins is.
Oh, that's a promoting thing for sure.
Well, but I can't do it because
I get it.
I can't cheat my fans. And just think, if you have all these people saying they're locking in for free, they have no skin in the game. There's no reason they have to come if they don't want to come.
Oh,
so
50%
I feel like
come.
an ass telling them I have an X amount, like a list this long, and a list that long shows up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You've got to take that all into account with wherever you're going. I mean, I will tell you something. I have heard multiple racers. I've had people call me and talk to me, and people are starting to see through a lot of these promoters. It's just a fact. And listen, whoever, I don't mean this to hurt anybody.
Yeah, I'm the same way when I say this. I'm just trying to be nice about it, guys.
Yeah, if you're wishy-washy on rules, if you don't make a stand whenever it...
Like change rules after lock-in?
Yes, stuff like that. Whenever stuff like that happens, other racers take notice. And when it comes time for them to make a choice of where to go, they're going to look and see who's going to put on the best race. And all you can do, I mean, there's a lot of good races out there. It's going to be a crazy year. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. And like I say, guys,
I fired that small block Ford up there, and it was just like thumping, and I was like, let's go. I was excited.
Like I said, before we go over these last few races, like I say, guys, take no offense to this. It's just how I feel. And take it as you want. I mean, if you think I'm being a hater, call me a hater. But it's advice. I've been around the block doing this. This is year 10 for me. So...
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just a nobody racer that's going to gap some LSs this year. That's all.
You did that in November.
That's all.
All right, so moving on, guys. Turbo John's backwards brawl. He will be there this time with a car instead of taking pictures. Yes. Unless something happens, then he's getting the camera again.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you something. The War in the Woods and then the Union races the week before that, I don't know if I'm going to make either of those.
Which, off subject, I missed you not being on the camera this weekend. Dude, I worked my ass off.
I was going to go by Knoxville, but, man, I got up that morning on Saturday, and we started doing stuff around Pigeon Forge, and I could have
turned into a tourist, didn't you?
Yeah, we went and ate breakfast, and then what did we do? We just went, and I did what I needed to do for the month of February and the beginning of March, so that the rest of 2023, it's a whole lot easier on me, okay?
Happy life.
Exactly. And so whenever I was like, hey, we may go to Knoxville on tomorrow, and she was cool. She was cool with it. She said, whatever you want to do. And I was like, And then I was like, by the time I drive there, traffic getting out of Pigeon Forge is insane. And yeah, I was just like, well, I'll tell you, you know what I thought? That's a backside race, right?
Yeah, it was a backside.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you my deciding factor on it?
You would be a terrible fan?
Yes.
I know this. I'm the same way.
Well, no, it's not that. It's we would have to park so far away from where we would have, and where I've got
family.
Yeah, where I've got two little ones, and we did have a stroller and everything, but that
guys,
walk is tough.
He is looking for a golf cart.
Yeah, I need a golf cart. Which I don't know. I'm about to make some changes, hopefully. But the side by side is roughly 1,400 pounds. Golf cart weighs 600 pounds. I had been overloading my enclosed trailer.
Well, I've got this figured out. Like when we go to races, if you don't have one by then,
yeah,
you're just coming to pick mine up.
That ends up being an ordeal.
Okay, I'll throw mine on the trailer and bring it here. Jesus Christ. I mean, because
I don't know. I don't even know if
that
I
helps us both out.
I don't even know if I can drive with that trailer behind me anymore. Well, I'm hoping it tracks straight. If it don't, we're going to have an issue.
Good point. I like my golf cart a lot more than you're driving.
Man, I hope it.
But, all right, guys, moving on.
Yep.
Full Tilt No Prep, April 14th and 15th, back to Wilkesboro, and it will be live. I will live cover that. And we got talking, because they're having the RC race, got talking with one of the guys from Custom Works. There's a bunch of those guys coming to the RC race. So the RC race Friday night's going to be legit.
So how's that working with the dyno?
Don't have a clue. Trying to be a both.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're going to have one of two choices. You can go and do some RC car stuff, or you can do some big car stuff.
Which I've got my little light now, so we can do some heads-up RC racing.
I have my
everywhere.
light as well. My light came in back in December.
Well, I just kind of got off and ordered one last week, so...
Mine came for free.
Well, you did the deal. I didn't. All right, moving on.
Yep.
Kentucky, April 21st and 22nd.
Slugfest.
Dude, that's going to be a legit race, I'm telling you. Top end and front side. That's my new thing. I'm not calling that one a backside. It's a top end race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've been calling it back end, and I've have corrected myself.
Yeah, it's a top end race. It's not really a back end race.
And I'm going to take this to anybody out there. I want to put on a top end race. So, you've got a cool top end, holler at me.
It will be interesting.
I did get a contact from a track this past weekend that wants Spoold Media to come in and do an event. But I have to look at my calendar because you know how crazy my shit is as is.
Mm-hmm. Are we not dropping the name of that yet?
No. I still got to talk to him more because I don't know what I can even move around, to be honest with you. I'm slammed. But it's a track you've been to.
Okay.
It's like going in the same direction as Knoxville, but not as close to Knoxville. But you still end up in the Smokies.
Oh, okay.
So you know what I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
He messaged
Anybody
me.
who has a brain knows who you're talking about.
I don't know. There's a few in that area that, you know. But
I don't think Cherokee even runs.
No, I've never even been there, so I don't even know.
I like that track.
It looks like a bacon weave.
Dude, I mean,
well, it's Twin River then. Bacon weave.
There you go. Absolutely.
So, but yeah, guys, Slugfest, awesome event, awesome track.
Who puts it on?
The Sybil family that owns the track puts it on, and
Gotcha.
They haven't released like the official flyer.
Yep.
But I do know the other flyer thingy that I haven't put on here yet is it's East versus West.
Yeah, this is a little different, right?
Ryan Mitchell, not KC Max Ryan, but
UPS
West
Ryan
Virginia
Mitchell.
Ryan. Yeah. Is on the East team header. Like he's the boss for it or whatever you want to call it. And Happy is for the West.
Gotcha.
So I don't know who I'm riding with on that one.
I don't know.
I think
whose
it's
team I'm on.
whoever hooks me up with a good hoodie or shirt.
I
know who's got those.
There you go.
But
there you go.
To end out the month of April, our buddy Ken Hensel putting on Battle of South Mountain 2 in Pennsylvania. I'll be up there helping him out. And I've never been to Pennsylvania, so this is going to be...
You've never been to Pennsylvania?
I fell asleep and rode through it once, but I've never been. I've heard they've got a groundhog and a racetrack.
Yep. And some windmills. They've got some windmills.
You saw me geek out them windmills in Indiana.
Yep.
I was like, look at that.
Yeah, there's some windmills up there. I've been there a couple times. Been to Pittsburgh. Been to, I forget, somewhere else. But I'll tell you what, it was somewhere up near that way. Because it was, we went up through the Panhandle, West Virginia.
Yeah, from what Ken told me, like, because I'm meeting them in Martinsburg.
Yep.
And riding, he's like, it's an hour from Martinsburg.
Mm-hmm.
And this place is old school.
That's a hella sucky drive.
Dude, any day on 81's a hella sucky drive.
It's so bad. It really is so bad.
Is it worse than Ohio?
Yes.
Like, road quality wise?
It's just the
I know
traffic
81's got shitty traffic.
Yeah.
But am I going to be... Do I need to call Jeff and get some long travels for the Explorer?
No, you ain't going to need like a neck brace by the time you get there. But God almighty, the freaking trucks are so frustrating.
On the way to
So many
Indiana,
trucks.
I remember that. I was sleeping like this, and you hit that hole, and
There were
I
some rough
uppercut
ones.
myself. Ooh.
There were some rough ones, that is for sure.
So what'd you say? Which races are close together? Eric Owen.
Yeah.
Hold on,
He
hold on.
he had to give you some wheels. Because,
Yeah, I heard about that when I got there.
But I don't.
Thanks, sir, for telling me after I had like a whole packed.
Oh,
like,
you
couldn't
would have
fit
been
nothing.
fine. I wasn't expecting it anyways. Like,
By the way,
it's
big
no big
shout
deal.
out to Eric Owen
Yeah.
for being awesome after he had like one of the craziest wrecks I've seen down there. That whole car got airborne.
Oh, I saw.
And dude got out, not one scratch. He's probably a little sore, but safety did its job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And that whole Air 51 crew, man, good guys. I hate seeing it.
Yeah.
I know he's going to come back soon. So,
yeah, he's got some tires that I need to, some wheels that I need to get.
I seen he
It's
got
just
some
wheels.
nice set of Kaisers on there now.
He has 2 sets of Kaisers. Because of the first set was he ordered wrong, but I went ahead and got him another set for the right ones.
It's good business right there.
So if anybody needs a set of 15 by 12 Kaisers, and I think they're going to end up with 6.5
Hold
inch
up,
back
hold up.
spacing.
Hold up.
I'm going to
One
be all right.
word.
Let me be honest about
One
one thing.
word. Waffle.
Yeah, there's a possibility. Let me be honest here. When I saw that he had hit the wall,
Man.
I was like, dang it. Did he hit those wheels? I thought he may have had the new wheels on, and I was like,
No.
oh,
Man.
man.
I hate seeing that because it
clean car.
busted like the inner spokes out of that front wheel. Like that whole thing was busted out. And what's crazy is because like we saw Jamie's when he's down there, and it kind of did the
Yeah.
wall grind come back down. Dude, Eric literally went head first into that wall
Yeah,
and walked out without a scratch.
yeah. Yeah, it took the brunt of it, and I'm sure that was hard when it came down. I mean, it rode up the wall and then sat back down.
Oh, man,
the
it was
wall did
heads
exactly what
on.
it was designed to do.
I
You
know I
know,
hear people bitch about those Jersey barriers, but it did exactly what you said. It contained the wreck, pushed it back inside.
Yeah, yeah, it really was crazy to see because it picked it up and set it right back down. So I mean, it sucks. It's a beautiful car, but that's sort of that's the risk that you take. I know that surface was in a lot of new builds and a lot of cars that had not made a lot of passes. You could tell.
I'm telling you, I've not seen a car like how his just quickly kicked out.
Yeah.
And that's why I told those guys, like everybody coming up there, I'm like, that shiny, once you're out of that groove,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. Yeah, it reminds you of Decker. You know, you get out of the rubber, you get in that other stuff, and you're really in the marbles. But it's crazy. I hate to see it. I hate to see any car I know, like the George Greason, that unfortunate wreck where the Corvette got into him. I mean, it's the risk that we take, and it sucks. That thing it wouldn't have been so bad if it hadn't flipped on its top. But I don't know if they can fix the truck or not. I don't know what
I
they'll do.
looked at it. I rode up every wreck that happened. I rode up there.
Yeah.
And just checked out. Like, I didn't take pictures or videos or nothing. I'm not like that. I don't think that's cool. But, I looked at George's, and they had a very good cage in it, too. And the structure held up so good.
Yeah, you could see that in the wreck. Like, I mean, look, he was out of it within, like, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good to go.
And then,
so.
I don't know if you watched it. I don't know if you can see it good on the feed, but, like, I just posted the video up for today. The Pour Your Own Puddle, Timmy Kappas, like him and Jarrett first round, he got loose. The whole rear of the truck came up. He shot across the lanes, made the right correction, went into the guardrail right there at the finish line in Jarrett's lane, and all it did was rip the tailgate off.
Oh, dang.
So
I didn't see that. Now, was there, I know we had I know you had the Trailblazer and the Corvette. You had Eric. Was there
Timmy Kappas.
I mean, but you said it technically just ripped the tailgate off.
That
right?
was your 3 incidents
Those are your
that
three.
had wall
Okay.
touching.
All right. So that's really not that bad. Oh, no, there was a fourth.
What I miss?
Freddie.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, Freddie scraped.
Freddie got
Somehow,
them.
Yeah, somehow only really popped the tire. I
Yeah,
think
I
it maybe
mean-
needs a new wheel or something.
Yeah, they were looking for a wheel so
Yeah.
they could get Emporium Prep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
Freddie had driving full.
Yeah, it just came up immediately and it moved just a hair left. And when you get up that high, dude, a car's not really designed to go.
And I talked
like
to
that,
Freddie, and the week before they went to Orlando.
Yeah.
He was like, "It's the stickiest it could be,"
Yeah,
and I couldn't make that thing stand up.
that's weird.
And
That's
they
weird
said
how
down
that
there,
works.
it just literally, if you're watching the video, just straight up, and then the second time when it comes up and he goes in,
goes over.
if you pay attention and zoom in, the back wheels are off the ground when it touched into the wall and then came back down.
That's probably
so
what it
Freddie
was.
was in flight.
That's probably what it was. Is whenever it came down, his weight is going to be just a hair more on the left. So when it comes down, it's going to immediately turn that way. That's exactly what it was. But really, really not that bad. He ended up at that.
He'll
that
be at
one-
Shay's side. He
Yeah.
said needs a wheel and he's good to go.
So that's awesome. I mean, it was a crazy one to start the year off.
Yeah, I mean, no one goes into that race expecting not to see that stuff.
Sure.
First real race of the season on that surface.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a beautiful day. It was warm. The surface actually had some tack to it. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah. Oh, I think it was a perfect no prep front side surface to me.
I will always go and say, front side wise, it's always going to be sketchier than my race at Shea side.
It's a different surface,
Yeah.
for sure. It's definitely different. I mean, the way that there's so many things that come into play with the track surface, and a lot of people that prep know this. You know, it depends on the humidity of the track. It depends on how much sun gets to it. It depends on how the wind is. I mean, there's so much stuff that goes into it, and elevation and different things. And you're just going to have a big difference from that track to other tracks to, a bunch of different tracks. I mean, look. Allen was making test passes, sitting them on the bumper against over in Ohio Valley with literally nothing done to that track surface. Nobody had raced on it that year. He's the first one that goes out and he puts it almost on the bumper. Yeah. Then he comes to Wilkesboro,
It hits the tire.
and hits the tire.
Yeah.
And technically, that surface should have been a wee bit better, you would think, at Wilkesboro because some passes had been made, but it wasn't.
So, before we go, I don't know how good you are going to be able to see this. I should have put it on here, but, look at that, guys. And there's one more. Oh, wait a minute. I suck. These pictures don't do just. It's looking terrible anyways, because I guess it's in the green and stuff with the green screen, but it doesn't know justice. That place was slammed.
Oh, yeah.
People up top parked all the way down. The racer side filled. Both stands filled. And when small tire came up, dude, it was elbow to elbow on the starting line. Hell yeah, Paul. I am super proud of Wilkesboro for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You guys have put in the work, and it's coming back to you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that just shows what the effort of the promoter and the track and both of them working together, and you end up with a great event.
Yeah, Tyler pushed that race.
Yep.
Got the interest built up. Dude, I don't think you could ask for better. I mean,
I did a great job.
I'm glad to see that place.
Yeah.
Packed. That place is back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just so much easier for us, too. I mean, that 2 hour and 15-minute drive for us is just so much easier.
My only negative comment of the weekend was Hampton Inn put me on the second floor of I guess they were having some big dance thing down there, and they ran that hotel all night. So, Hampton Inn, fourth floor from now on. First world problems.
That's it. That's first world problems for sure. If that's your only beef, that's pretty good.
Awesome shout out to Carolina Performance for all the hospitality. They hooked me up with 2 new shirts that have Spoold Media on the front and the media code on the back.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Big shout out to Tim for buying Mexican Friday night. That was on point. We're never going to that place you picked last time. We have a better place now.
I thought the place I picked was really good.
If I order fajita nachos and I get ground beef, that place sucks. And this is right down from where we
yeah,
ate
I
at.
know where you're talking about.
Way better.
It took me a second to realize. I've always had good experiences where we ate. I think our waitress was having a bad day that day.
One refill the whole day. I mean,
Our waitress. I've ate there like 3 or 4 times.
oh, big shout out also Carolina Performance supplying breakfast Saturday morning.
There you go. Got to keep the fat kids happy.
If you keep the fat kid happy, the video will be out the next day.
There you go. All right.
All right, guys. And speaking of being fat kid happy, it's Taco Tuesday. So we're out, guys.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh, before we go.
Yep.
I don't know who to have a guest next week because I don't know if the radio guys are going to come on.
Not sure. We'll figure something out.
Maybe we'll do something with Cash Days.
Yeah.
Because it'll be 2 nights of Cash Days previews next week.
Sure.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank y'all again for tuning in as always.
Peace.
Next Tuesday, same bat place, same bat time. You can at least let me hit that.